we're only just over 2 weeks away from Modern Warfare 2's full launch upcoming, where we can play campaign for those that don't pre-order digitally and get early access to it, multiplayer, and the entire offering across 6v6, Ground War, the new Mastery Camo grind, and all of that, as well as, of course, Spec Ops, and then with Warzone 2 and DMZ shortly to follow in November. But while we have a ton upcoming in the next few weeks in regards to new content that looks to be on the horizon, the prospect of this being a 2-year game still looms. So what's beyond that is still a mystery. However, thanks to a few new leaks, we've got some insight into what may be a bigger offering than previously thought, and another first for the Call of Duty franchise potentially coming on that distant horizon for Modern Warfare 2 and beyond. Today, we're breaking it all down and letting you know what you need to know in order to stay up to date with absolutely everything. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What are you looking forward to the most out of Modern Warfare 2, whether here in the initial offering or later on down the line? Would you like to see this be the full offering this time next year that we discussed, or do you think what we're talking about isn't quite as possible? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. We're chasing down 500,000 subscribers, so if you'd like to join the community, I'd love to have you. And finally, check out my friends over at GamerAdvantage for the best blue light glasses on the market, but more on them a little later. For now, let's take a look at some future content that may be headed to Modern Warfare 2, including another first for the franchise. So this is a bit of an expansion upon what we discussed a little earlier last week. So for real quick catch-up's sake, Treyarch was reported to have their title not delayed per se, but rescheduled to give them adequate time to finish a game, given the recent track records of recent years where they were hands-on with every single project, minus Modern Warfare 2019. This would mean that in theory for 2023, we'd have a gap year. Modern Warfare 2 launching in just a few weeks' time, being the 2022 title, 2023 essentially having nothing per se, 2024 then being the home of the next mainline title developed by Treyarch. Let's just theoretically call that the next Black Ops game. Now, for theory's sake in the discussion here, we don't care too much of what beyond that holds. Whether or not Sledgehammer comes back with another title of their own in 2025, 2026, we don't know, but it doesn't affect the discussion here today. That gap year was previously rumored to just be a second year of support for Modern Warfare 2, giving more content, perhaps more seasons, so instead of 6, we see 12 perhaps, but that was what was rumored for a long time. What made things weird though is that Activision Blizzard put out verbiage in their Q2 investor report that stated, across the Call of Duty ecosystem, the teams are well positioned to support these launches with substantial live operations while also continuing development of new premium content planned for 2023 and beyond. Now, that's weird because, like we discussed, premium content has historically always been the wording for a new game, a new shipped in the box offering, not just additional seasons or map packs, but a whole new experience. So that threw a curveball in things for sure. But then we recently saw rumors of the Ghost of Hope talking about how Infinity Ward are planning to release all or almost all Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 maps together all at once during the post-launch window of Modern Warfare 2. Very likely that it could be year 2 content. Following up later to say, to celebrate 20 years of Call of Duty, a paid Greatest Hits map pack is in development. On top of Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps, these would include other classic maps from Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer's catalog, meant to be released for Modern Warfare 2 year 2. And then finally, the new stuff here, Hope also reported exclusive campaign DLC to be released in late 2023, bundled with a map pack leaked previously. So as someone who may be the odd one out and loves campaign a ton, especially the Modern Warfare games, excuse me while I furiously fist pump the air at the idea. Now, what's nice is that there's actually a bit more of a breadcrumb trail to this than we might anticipate. Not only one has Hope mentioned this, but Jason Schreier, the one who initially broke the news of Treyarch's next title coming in 2024, he corroborated this report today in a tweet stating, next year they'll be selling new stuff for Modern Warfare 2, an expansion or something like that. Not sure exactly what it'll look like, but it'll have campaign stuff too. No actual new COD until 2024, as I reported earlier this year. Now, furthering the corroborated efforts, Tom Henderson's new journalistic venture, Insider Gaming, also went on record saying they were able to hear the same information from their sources as well. So with 3 prominent sort of yes votes in favor of this, that's shaping up to be an interesting addition to the overall Modern Warfare 2 content, even if it's just in year 2. Now, to make things even more curious, it was recently seen in an Activision job listing that Raven was looking for a lead campaign animator with experience in first-person shooters with extensive knowledge about Call of Duty. Now, the last campaign that Raven worked on was Cold War. Their story and narrative was all intact. Treyarch really came in to kind of interweave the branding of the Black Ops name and some of the canonical lore there, but they also were building out multiplayer and zombies, which I've said it before, I'll say it again, while we'll never know for sure, I do think this is why we we didn't get Sam Worthington and James C. Burns back as Mason and Woods, or why we didn't really get any real playtime as them in campaign outside of playing as Mason with Woods at your side in Echoes of the Cold War and having Woods as your sort of right-hand man in the mission red light, green light, because it was never meant to be a Black Ops game, instead just a Cold War era game. And so in the grand scheme, it was essentially a last-second course correction to make it a Black Ops game a little over a year away from its launch. But anyways, that's a different story for a different day. But with Raven's main focus on Warzone since Cold War's main year of support, and their seeming push to support Warzone 2 here shortly in tandem with Infinity Ward to start before perhaps getting the reins handed over to them, why would they be looking for a campaign animator? They don't have any mainline titles slated as it stands. I mean, Infinity Ward this year's Modern Warfare 2, Treyarch in 2024, presumably Sledgehammer somewhere down the line, so Raven doesn't have anything to do with a campaign, or do they? Job listings aren't often posted for positions 4+ years in advance, assuming they're added to the mainline rotation of games, if that would be the best guess outside of this. So this pertaining to a 2026 campaign launch or something like that seems a bit out of the ordinary, but it could be in relation to a campaign DLC of sorts, especially if Raven is playing it close to the chest with Infinity Ward this year on the Warzone side of things. Perhaps they're embedded a little deeper than we may initially think, and we do get a new narrative with Raven partially involved, if not fully involved. And what makes it a little more interesting to me, and why I'm kind of leaning into the mention of this, is the requirement of expert knowledge in both first-person and third-person gameplay animations, and a strong understanding in the language of gameplay storytelling techniques. Now, it very well could just be a matter of transitioning from a cutscene to a first-person to a third-person perspective, but with Modern Warfare 2's reintroduction of the third-person gameplay in multiplayer, it just kind of makes me think, that's gotta be a fit, right? Like, that's gotta be linked. But big picture, where does this land? Modern Warfare 2 Volume 2, Modern Warfare 2.5, Modern Warfare 2 2022-2, whatever the convoluted branding we end up seeing it become, I think this may actually just check out now at this point. I think that if we take that requirement for the verbiage of what Activision used for the Q2 investor report and how they branded 2023's offering as premium content and not live ops as they normally do with seasonal and DLC content, I think that honestly we could finally be seeing a bigger picture here to all of this, a paid expansion and a massive one potentially at that essentially will equate to another game offering, but be an expansion for the current game in the universe we see right now with Modern Warfare 2. Now, price point is an entirely different topic of discussion that we could continue on for another day. I'd pay like $20 to $40 perhaps for a new full-fledged campaign offering. I'd want it to be something new and not necessarily just the Beanox remaster of Modern Warfare 3 that may be sitting on a shelf somewhere, but I'd like to think that the maps could still be perhaps air quote free per se in a bundled format so that we're not paying $60 to $70 for a new game that would just be mostly remasters and a new campaign. But we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. But for now, that's where we're at. So where do you stand on this? What do you think is going to happen? And do you like the idea and prospect that maybe we have a new campaign coming next year along with some remasters and greatest hits DLCs? I'd love to get your thoughts. But before we wrap everything up, make sure to check out my friends over at GamerAdvantage. You guys know the pitch here. I've been using them for a year and a half, almost 2 years now at this point, and every single day, not a single complaint with them. They are absolutely what I would consider the advantage of espresso, looking at a monitor for 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day. It really does wear on you. The eye fatigue absolutely sets in. So if you look at any screen for a prolonged period of time a day, I can't recommend them enough. Their frames are the most comfortable, lightweight, and durable frames that I've personally used, which makes them a great choice for everyday use. Plus, their lenses are clinically proven. Not to mention, you can end up getting them prescription rated as well, with their insurance potentially even covering the cost of them. But if you guys would like to learn more, check out all they're offering. They do so much a better job explaining the science behind everything than I possibly could. So check the link in the description below if you guys would like to learn more. And if you want to pick something up for yourself, protect your long-term vision health a little bit, use code espresso to save yourself 10% off if you decide to pick anything up. But that said, that's going to wrap it up. Again, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing running all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ upcoming. We've got so much on the horizon here, so make sure you stick it here so you don't miss a single thing. But that said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.